really just upping and leaving home. I'm Egyptian and I wanted to do a PhD, and I was looking at a subject that was particularly challenging at the time, looking at how businesses dealt with environmental issues back in the mid-90s, and decided to leave home and go to Scotland to do my PhD. And Scotland felt really out in the middle of nowhere and freezing, a real far cry from Cairo. Probably quite a lot. I think where you grow up, who you grow up with, your experiences shape who you are at a base, but that doesn't mean it's set in stone. And with every place you live, the new people you meet, the culture and the way things are done in that place shape you again, and eventually you find that you're actually this complex multiplicity of a person, where you're not who you were when you were growing up, but you're not really who everyone is from where you're living now. But there's a lot of people like that, so you end up meeting a lot of other mixed up people, and it's great. I think balance. I tend to be one of these, I suppose typically female, is that I'm mostly riddled with guilt over something or other. I haven't done enough of this or haven't done enough of that, or I've let down this person and the work wasn't good enough. But I feel fulfilled when I actually manage to juggle it. Rather than do everything, still have enough that actually I feel, right, I did have a life. I spent time with my son, my work was delivered to a good standard, and nobody really kind of suffered. So yeah, I think that balance of being able to juggle the balls is fulfilling, but of course also extra pressure on myself. Ooh. Funny enough, the first word that popped into my mind is freedom. And I guess that I still perceive that being a woman in this day and age, although we're expected to do everything, we also have that freedom of choice. We can be anything that we want. We can be a stay-at-home mom and nobody's going to criticize you for that. You can be a high-flying woman who's given up family, made the decision that actually that isn't for her, career is number one, and that's okay. You'll still get a bit of criticism for that, well, you get criticized either way, but you still have that choice, whereas previous generations might not have had. Men are certainly a lot more supportive, so the roles we take, the roles we negotiate for ourselves, I think are entirely open. Ooh, depends on the day. Sometimes I can just see the bad hair day. Sometimes I see a capable woman. Sometimes I see a mother. Sometimes I see a wife. But it really does depend on the day and what else is going on in my life. And sometimes I can look at myself and be very satisfied with who I am, and sometimes I can be incredibly critical.